Everyone, and welcome back to another reaction video. Today we are reacting to something a bit different from this creator. It's gamers who achieve the impossible. Now I thought we could just do something that was insulting something, or insulting certain groups of people, or revenge, or something really dumb, but let's try. But I figured, why not do something that seems incredible? And then I found this. Gamers who achieved the impossible. Now this is something I'm kind of interested in. As a fellow gamer myself, I am very interested in the accomplishments of my fellow gamers. And I really would like to see what's going on here. So, with this said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button down below, hit the subscribe button to support the channel, support the content provided, hit the notification button to be notified immediately when a new video comes out. And if you have any videos you would like to recommend that I should react to, put it down in the comment section below, and I'll react to them as soon as possible. And the link to this video will be down in the description below, so if you want to see this yourself before I even react to it, go ahead and do it right now. I'm going to give a 5-second pause. You done? You good? You seen it? Okay. If you haven't, then you want to see this reaction video from a reactor. At least that's what I'm guessing. Anyway, let's start this video.
For many gamers, seeing the credits roll at the end of a game is enough. Knowing you saved the beautiful dragon from the evil princess.
Huh?
Pure serotonin. For others, however, games just aren't difficult, stressful, or long enough. These other games go above and beyond, creating their own challenges and proving the impossible is possible. From no-jump Mario runs to building working computers in Minecraft, these are the gamers that do the unthinkable.
Win Mario, a Mario game, without jumping? Ooh, okay. That's a tough one. Because Mario is definitely about jumping. To do it without jumping means you're doing it in some kind of crazy way. I don't even know many games that would have Mario not being allowed to jump. Well, maybe Super Mario 3D World?
One magical carp. One of the coolest things
What the heck?
Games is the evolution mechanic. With
Yeah.
experience points, your weak little turnip can transform into a mighty flower, or your tiny buff dude can turn into a bigger buff dude. Well, in 2019, one gamer by the name of JRose11 decided evolution made the games too easy, and that he was going to beat Pokemon Fire Red with a magic.
What?
That's right, the ludicrously weak Pokemon whose only redeeming feature is that it evolves into a powerful Gyarados.
Okay, that is dumb. And very, very hard to do. In the more modern games, Magikarp can learn Tackle and Splash. In the older games, Magikarp only knew Splash. So to say that you're going to try to complete an old Pokemon game with Magikarp knowing only Splash and possibly Tackle. I don't know when Magikarp was given the go-ahead to have to move Tackle, but Splash was literally its only attack. And its stats weren't really amazing. I think I even tried to give Magikarp some different attacks because it was a normal type at the time. And I couldn't do it because the game didn't allow me to give Magikarp this one move. And that is weird.
Replacing his starter with a level 1 Magikarp using a mod, J-Rose began his punishing journey. And there were hurdles right out of the gate. For starters, Magikarp doesn't even learn an attack move until level 15. This means that
Yeah.
the only way it can deal damage is to exhaust all 40 uses of Splash, a useless move that does nothing. You see, when a Pokemon uses up all its moves, it's able to use Struggle. Struggle does very little damage and harms the user, but for large chunks of the run, J-Rose has no choice but to rely on it. This is particularly arduous towards the start of the run because if J-Rose visits a Poké-Center to heal, it also restores all 40 uses of Splash, meaning he must use them all up again before he can struggle. J-Rose
Oh.
previously attempted the challenge on the original Pokemon Red, but sadly realized it was impossible partway through. This is because in the original game, Struggle is a normal type move, and normal type moves cannot damage ghost Pokemon. And
Yep.
unfortunately for J-Rose, he found out all too late there are several unavoidable ghost battles in the game. In the remake, however, Struggle has no type and deals flat damage, so it can hurt ghosts. Before you go thinking that makes the run easy, however, consider J-Rose still has a terrible Pokemon with almost no useful moves and plenty of weaknesses.
That is
J-Rose
definitely
even
true.
learns how Pokemon's stealth mechanics work so he can avoid difficult fights. Yeah, I didn't know this game had stealth mechanics either. In the end, despite being grossly overleveled, the final battle is ludicrously close. J-Rose manages to just barely beat the game's champion at level 99 with only 21 hit points remaining. Now that is a next level achievement. Speaking of leveling up, if you love playing video games in high quality, then you're gonna love this video sponsor. In Real Air,
Okay, can't do that. But that is actually kind of cool. Being able to complete a whole Pokemon game with just Magikarp. Impressive, but I am not that. But I do not hate myself that much just to attempt that.
There's two mechanics that appear without fail in almost every Mario game. You jump and you collect coins. Well, in 2018, legendary gamer GameChamp 3000 decided
Okay.
this was too easy. And thus she began her ridiculous journey to complete Super Mario Odyssey without jumping once.
That's
Luckily, Odyssey
weird.
has a precise way of tracking your jumps. Once you beat the game, you can chat with the adorable Toadette, who tells you all sorts of interesting things about your playthrough, including how many times you've jumped. Now that
Really?
GameChamp had a way of reviewing her performance, she got to work on the run itself. She mostly utilizes extreme parkour, like throwing your hat called Cappy and bouncing off of it while it's still airborne. While this looks similar to a jump, it's harder to judge, less reliable, and the game doesn't consider it a jump. When GameChamp gets Mario airborne, she must then execute some crazy wall kicks and dive bombs to get anywhere. After an amazing free-running adventure, GameChamp beat Odyssey only to find she'd apparently jumped 29 times. While this discovery was painful, GameChamp was no stranger to pain. She had previously beaten the Legend of Zelda game Breath of the Wild without climbing once, so she was at home surmounting impossible odds. She accomplished this by using her environment, carefully stacking objects, and taking extremely long routes towards important goals. When she was faced with a mountain, she'd painstakingly try to sideways shimmy up the whole thing, stopping if it looked like Link was about to enter his climbing animation. Needless to say, after that experience, GameChamp was no stranger to coming up with clever solutions. So, returning to Mario, GameChamp realized that, for weird programming reasons, Mario Odyssey counts speaking to NPCs as jumping. She theorized that this is because when you press the A button to speak, the game flags it as a jump before the chat box appears, which cancels the jumping animation. Devastated, she started a second, lonelier run, talking to no one. After beating the game again, GameChamp returned to Toadette for a gut-wrenching revelation. She had apparently jumped one single time. Worst of all, this jump was unavoidable. This was because one cutscene in the game ends with Mario on the floor, and the only method of waking him up being, you guessed it, jumping. After
That.
composing herself, however, she thought of an ingenious solution. Multiplayer. In two-player mode, another player can control Cappy. One thing Cappy can do is poke Mario, causing him to bounce into the air. And guess what? This bounce is not considered a jump. Tearfully, GameChamp completed her third and final run, proving you could beat the game without jumping. And Mario never has to worry about skipping leg day again.
Holy cow! One, this person is relentless with their goals, and I respect them for that. But damn, seriously? That has to suck. You have to do it 3 times, and you have to avoid talking to people? That's crazy. I don't think I could ever do that.
Yeah,
But nice job.
a far-fetched goal. Minecraft is a sandbox game that tasks players with creating anything from whatever they find laying around.
I mean, not
Literally
wrong.
anything. A treehouse? Sure thing.
Mm-hmm.
Giant toilet? Why not?
Not
An
wrong.
entire city? Hey, follow your dreams. In survival mode, players are dumped into a great big world and tasked with, well, surviving. The world is vast and algorithmically generated, creating more spaces and room to play than most will ever need. All algorithms have their limits, however, and in Minecraft that seems to be about 12.5 million blocks away from where the player first spawns. At this point, the terrain generated starts to become erratic and strange, defying the rigid rules that typically control what the world
What
looks
the
like.
heck?
Players in the Minecraft community have dubbed these strange fringes the Farlands.
The
But the game's
Farlands.
creator commented that he thought it would be impossible to reach the Farlands without cheats or exploits, which gamer Kilo Crazy Man took as a personal challenge. In 2019, Kilo
What?
set out on his long journey into the deepest recesses of the Minecraft world. For 9 months, Kilo documented his adventure as he went, sometimes uploading multiple videos a day that were several hours long. The closer he got to his goal, the laggier the game became. This is likely because the game was being forced to spawn in and keep track of more terrain than it was ever expected to. On June 19, 2020, Kilo became the first gamer to legitimately step into the mysterious wonderland the game intended to keep hidden forever.
Oh, that is determination.
If each block roughly equates to a single step, and we assume the Minecraft avatar has an average height of 5'10", that means Kilo's journey to the Farlands would equate to over 5,705 miles. That's twice the distance from LA to New York. Pretty unfair his real-life step counter still reads 0 if you ask me. Emotional damage run. The Dark Souls trilogy is widely considered to be one of the
Emotional
toughest franchises in gaming.
damage.
Known for the tight combat,
Sorry.
bosses,
Sorry.
and fair
It was
stakes,
beam.
it's
I
no
just wanted the
coincidence you'll
meme.
see the iconic "You Died" screen dozens of times on any given playthrough. That is, unless you're the Happy Hob, who in 2017 became the first person to complete each game in the franchise without taking a single hit. No, you heard me right. Not without dying, but without taking a single hit. If you played these
You would have
games,
to be
you
a
know what
dodging
levels
master.
is. Some of the bosses in the third game have many quick and unforgiving combos, and Dark Souls 2 in particular is a very long game with some less than desirable hitboxes. Look, that one had a tight development deadline. Let's not pick on it, okay? After accomplishing this staggering feat, Hob decided it wasn't enough and attempted something masochistic: to beat the 3 games hitless in succession. This means that if
What?
Hob got hit once, he had to go all the way back to the first game. And guess what? That happened several times. In one instance that is absolutely gut-wrenching to watch, during the final boss of the run, this happens.
No! Oh my god!
Oh my gosh.
Way. No way.
Man, and I thought Titanic was heartbreaking. After stepping away from the challenge, Hob returned a month later reinvigorated. He used numerous items that boosted his damage output based on having a light equipment load and low health, which makes sense. If you don't plan on getting hit after all, what use is armor? After 12 total grueling months of pain, Hob finally did it, becoming the first gamer to best the Notorious trilogy without so much as a stubbed toe. Of course, his cruel and sadistic audience couldn't let him have this victory for 5 minutes before asking him when he would do the same with Bloodborne, Sekiro, and Demon's Souls. Other games by Dark Souls developer
Damn.
referred to as the Soulsborne series. Eager to please and probably numb to the emotional pain at this point, Hob completed a 5-game run in 2019 and a full 6-game run in 2021.
So small, no heroes! We did it!
I know Elden Ring came
Damn.
out recently, but please, people, he's had enough. In extreme.
Yeah, give the guy a break. Because that sounds like hell he's walking into. And I would not want to wish that for anyone. That would have to be the most masochistic thing you would have to ever do. You would have to enjoy that pain just to do it. I am not one for that.
Mario-thon. Speedrunning may be all about beating a game as
Mario-thon.
quickly as possible, but as god-tier gamers Chrism and Value111 might tell you, that doesn't mean it's always quick. That's because at Summer Games Done Quick 2016, the two competed against each other in one of the most brutal competitions in all gaming, the 602 run. This gauntlet
602?
involves collecting every single star in Mario 64, Sunshine, Galaxy, and Galaxy 2.
What?
One after the other, for a grand total of 602 stars. And shines, I guess. Mario Sunshine is weird. This run is, as you can probably imagine, vicious, and takes tens of hours. Playing any 4 games back to back is hard, but these are Mario games. These platformers have been optimized to death. There are dozens of precise, tricky maneuvers in each game that are essential for playing quickly, where one wrong input can cost minutes. And on top of all that, you have to do it knowing that another runner, just as good as you, is racing against you. The duel was nail-biting. Chrism was ahead for much of the run, but by hour 18 started to lag behind due to fatigue. Valu experienced a second win and doubled down, managing to bridge the gap between them. In the end, both players entered the final stage of Mario Galaxy 2 at almost the exact same time. The level is fittingly called the perfect run, and I can tell you from experience, it's hard. I've personally collected every star in Galaxy 2 except for this one. I simply couldn't do it. The level contains some of the most treacherous platforming Nintendo has ever devised, and to top it off, your health is reduced to 1, so one strike and you're out. Chrism and Valu, after over 21 hours in the gaming chair, began the level around the same time. They both dodged boomerangs, jumped clouds, and narrowly avoided lasers perfectly. In the end, Valu managed to win by just 5 seconds. Seriously, after 21 hours and 40 minutes of racing, 5 seconds decided the winner. Since then, the run has been further optimized, with gamer OddMe achieving a record of 19 hours and 57 minutes in 2020. Still, I think everyone should tip their emblazoned caps to Crimson and Valor111 for their historic 2016 bout. That was one
Damn.
of the race, boys. Hello,
You have to be committed for that kind of stuff.
If you've ever been a kid talking smack about your buddy's gaming skills on the schoolyard, you've probably said something along the lines of, "Oh yeah? Well, I could beat that game with my eyes closed." Perhaps you should put your money where your mouth is. Or where your eyes are. Either way.
I didn't really do that. The games back then were really hard. I can't say I ever said that I can do something very easily, because I realized that games were going to be just harder than ever anticipated. And back then, I couldn't even get 100% on anything. Now here I am, years later, and I can do it if I really wanted to, and if I really, really try. But yeah, it's just too hard. If it's in a game that I'm comfortable with, I can try it. It's just hard.
Somebody did it. At Games Done Quick 2015, a speedrunner by the name of RunnerGuy2489 decided he was going to play the N64 classic Zelda Ocarina of Time blindfolded. That's right, for the entire run.
Holy
shit!
shit.
Blindfold and didn't peek out from under it once. Runner Guy relied heavily on 2 things. First off, his intimate knowledge and memory of it. He had run the game normally many times before, so knew its rhythm and pace well. Secondly, he listened carefully to audio cues. Certain sound effects trigger when monsters spawn in the overworld, when items become available for pickup, and when bosses are about to launch different attacks. Backflipping and sidestepping are also highly useful, as Link always moves a set distance when he performs them. It should be noted that at the event, Runner Guy didn't beat the whole game, instead completing only the dungeons you could beat as Child Link. This was because he didn't have enough time to practice an entire run, and the GDQ hosts were, I think fairly, skeptical it could be done without running over the allotted time slot. Since then, however, Runner Guy has completed the entire game blindfolded on his YouTube channel and inspired other runners to do the same. In 2022, a runner by the name of Bubzia was even able to beat the game blindfolded in a blistering time of 35 minutes. Man, if I were Ganondorf, I'd find that pretty humiliating.
Damn.
Conquering Everest.
Everest.
Online is a massive, strange beast. Famous for its comprehensive endgame economy based on...
I don't remember this one.
The game has virtual nightclubs that rake in hundreds of thousands of dollars, and virtual...
No, seriously, I don't remember this game.
Houses have gone up in smoke during massive space battles. This entry isn't about Eve's economy, however. It's about its size. As you can imagine, a game needs to be pretty massive to entice gamers to spend that much hard-earned cash in it. And boy, is Eve massive. Eve enjoys a mind-boggling 66,856 planets, of which over 44,000 aren't gas giants, meaning you can feasibly land on them. These planets are contained within 8,031 systems, which players actively visit, and in 2009, one player decided to visit them all. This is Katja Say, a modern-day virtual space pilgrim. Journeying from system to system, Katja had to navigate the typical worries that face all Eve players: fuel consumption, equipment maintenance, and, of course, other players. Remember how I said that hundreds of thousands of dollars had been blown away in space battles before? Well, Katja completed her entire journey without losing a single ship. Considering that more than 750 ships are destroyed hourly here, that's quite the feat. In total, Katja's journey took an entire decade to complete, beginning in 2009 and ending in 2019. That means her journey saw 2 presidents, the birth, sale, and fall of Vine, and all 7 seasons of Game of Thrones.
Damn.
7. All 7. We don't talk about 8. For their efforts, Katja was invited
Fair.
to the dev-only planet of Polaris, had an in-game space monument created in her honor, and made it into the Guinness Book of World Records. And to think, my parents said I'd never amount to anything if I spent all my time playing video games. Go broke or die trying.
Okay,
Remember
what
the
happened?
2 things you do in Mario games, with jumping and collecting coins being the most obvious? Well, it's time to eliminate that second one too. Mario player Steve Gaming decided to deny Mario his capitalistic impulses in 2018 and see if he could complete New Super Mario Bros. U without collecting a single coin.
Holy
This
shit.
challenge is actually practically impossible. That's because Nintendo wants you to collect coins. The game's designed around buying power-ups and earning extra lives. They never dreamed anyone would try to avoid them all. As such, many areas of the game are so flush with coins, they simply can't be avoided. This meant it was very, very difficult for Steve to plan a route through the game. He'd often have to go back to an earlier level to pick up a power-up you aren't supposed to have later on, just to make coin avoidance easier. Like here, where regular Mario can't get through this area coinless, but Mini Mario can. Eventually, Steve reaches a fork in the road. This series of platforms covered in coins, or this pipe which forces you to collect a single coin upon leaving. Unfortunately, Steve found that what this meant is that the smallest number of coins he could beat the game with was 1. 1! That's frustrating. While Steve was so frustrated, he went back to these platforms to see if he could figure something out. It was here he discovered an old speedrunning trick. By approaching a pipe in the exact right way from the side, it's possible to skip the animation where you get sucked into it. This meant he was able to leap up the side of the wall with the acorn suit, kick off at the right moment, glide, then boost into the side of the pipe, and he did it! Mario was able to beat Bowser without submitting to his capitalist traps. Great success, Comrade Mario!
Damn.
Just Dance?
That is astounding, wonderful, amazing. No one can really do this whole thing without dying and having to get coins to get more lives. So the fact that he did this is amazing by itself.
Being a hardcore
Respect.
gamer can come with a lot of
I
health risks.
respect
For
him.
starters, there's repetitive strain, injury, stiffness in the shoulders, eye strain, lower back pain, and lard butt, just to name a few. But what if I told you
Fair?
that game marathons pose serious long-term threats to your health? Well, that's the price you pay if you're a dance maniac. This is Katie
Huh?
Swidecki, and she holds the most physically painful gaming records ever achieved, because she's a Just Dance champion. If you're not familiar, the Just Dance games use motion sensing devices to track and monitor your real-world dancing prowess. This means that unlike many long-form gaming sessions, if you want to be a Just Dance pro, you've got to be on your feet and working your body for hours at a time. Swidecki first made headlines back in 2010 when she broke multiple records by playing Just Dance Revolution for a glute-busting 15 hours straight. The very next year, she broke her record by an hour, and 2 years after that, upped her insanity to the unthinkable, playing Just Dance Central for an entire 24 hours. I can't even stay awake for 24 hours. Now, at this point, I need to mention that no medical professional would ever...
Yeah, I have to agree. The fact that you're gonna try to do this, to dance after dance after dance, without giving into fatigue, probably with no breaks, unless you count a small water break and a small quick eat or snack as a thing. 24 hours of playing a game like Just Dance is mind boggling and impossible, especially considering the fact that you have to be doing it, like dancing and everything, non-stop, and that's just gonna numb your muscles. You're gonna probably have muscle tear and so on. That's like insane.
recommend you exercise for an entire day. This much exercise can lead to what's called overtraining, which can cause extreme
Yeah.
pain, fatigue, and the breakdown of skeletal muscle, which can have long-term damaging
Yeah.
effects on the body. Still, Swidecki was not satisfied with the amount of pain she'd inflicted on herself. In 2015, she began an unthinkable endeavor to not just beat her previous record, not even to double it, but beat it nearly 6 times over. That's right, from July 11th to the 17th, Swidecki did nothing but dance, with a few sparse breaks, eventually racking up the insane time of 138 hours. That's the world record for the longest gaming marathon ever.
Holy
That's 100 times
shiza.
longer than the longest Minecraft gaming marathon. Which game do you think would be harder on your body? Since that monumental achievement, Swidecki has remained undefeated, and what's more, she live-streamed the entire thing for charity. Forget Just Dance. If I'd tried to do this, I'd have just dropped dead.
Yeah.
Control freaks. These have
No.
one thing in common. For the most casual of puzzlers to the most frantic beat-em-up, every game uses some kind of controller. For many gamers, a challenge run comes not from beating a game while collecting every item or never taking a hit, but simply by playing around with the input. Case in point, do you remember Donkey Konga? I bet you don't. It was a Donkey Kong ripping
Not
around the
really.
world, bonking along to 2000's hit covers on a set of electronic bongos. And well,
That was a
speaking of
thing?
hits, here's gamer Benjamin Gwen using these ridiculous controllers to beat Ornstein and Smough, one of the toughest fights in
No.
the original Dark Souls.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
Yep, he even set his back button to trigger when his mic picks up a clap. Crazy, right? A lot
What
of people can't
the
beat this game
frick?
As you can see, he's mapped different areas of the bongos to different common PlayStation inputs. I'm a fan of the double bonk dodge roll right here to escape a heaping hammer and sickening spear of pain. That's not the only wacky Nintendo peripheral that has bested this series, though. Zero Lenny shocked the world by beating Dark Souls 2 with a Wii Zapper. On theme, he managed to
What?
crossbow the entire run. Absolute legend Lil Aggie, who holds the record for fastest time to beat the difficult samurai slasher Sekiro, decided to challenge himself not by using a funky peripheral, but his own funky feet. Despite the violence and monsters, this is still probably the most wholesome use of a foot cam I've seen this year. While all these
But
peripherals and
I,
their foot play is certainly
huh?
impressive, nothing compares to our next lunatic. That's because a fittingly named Robotator managed to find a way to play Skyrim on a potato. Or rather, a collection of potatoes? Well,
Bullshit!
Robotator first attached alligator clips fed with wires to each potato. These wires were then fed into a makey-makey circuit board with each potato input corresponding to a specific key on a keyboard. He then attached wires connecting his fingers in another part of the circuit. Because electrical currents can pass through potatoes, this meant that whenever Robotator touched one, he was essentially completing a circuit generating a potato keyboard signal. Now, Robotator couldn't do much like this, but he was able to have a Skyrim experience at least as competent as my grandma. Saving the top banana for last, I'd like to mention Super Lewis 64, who beat Dark Souls 3 with some bananas and a similar setup to Robotator. Bet you never dreamed there'd be a more Donkey Kong appropriate Dark Souls run than the Bongo one, huh? Minecraft and Minecraft. We've
What the
already covered some of
frick?
the amazing things that have been built in Minecraft, but nothing compares to this next creation, which is reliant on something called redstone. Redstone is a rare material in
Yeah,
Minecraft that can
I know about
also carry
redstone.
an electrical current and transmit power from one place to another. Redstone is commonly used for cute little novelties like moving drawbridges or automatic farming machines. However, as Minecraft is the best-selling video game of all time, Redstone was bound to make its way into the hands of more determined individuals. You see, what some gamers realized is that if you're clever about how you utilize Redstone, you can essentially create working electronics in the game. And if you can find a way to create a screen, anything's possible. Take Redditor I Really Like Stairs, for instance, who was able to use Redstone to create a slow, albeit functional, game of Pong in Minecraft. And while this achievement is impressive, it can't compare to the Herculean effort that was recreating Minecraft in Minecraft.
What?
That right. Taking Redstone to the extreme, ingenious gamers Sumiyuri, Uwerta, and Stack Double Flow got to work. Their gargantuan creation is made using absolutely no mods or hacks, just Redstone. As you can see,
Holy moly.
real-world computer components, including a graphics processor, RAM, and memory unit. Inputs are delivered via an enormous controller and projected onto an even bigger screen. While the game is monochromatic and rudimentary, that's still Minecraft in Minecraft. The Minecraft facsimile includes a fully realized 3D world, 16 types of blocks, 32 items, along with plenty of mechanics found in the full game. Despite the wizardry and ingenuity of those involved, the Minecraft Inception machine is only able to render a single frame of the game every few days. Thus, the Intrepid team created a specialized server that runs the game at 10,000 times its normal speed, making their creation playable. Hopefully, I'll live long enough to one day witness Minecraft running in Minecraft. Those were some big brain coding skills. What do you think? Any amazing achievements we missed? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching.
Huh? Are you serious? Okay, the bongos was crazy. The potatoes was crazy. The bananas were crazy, but seriously? How much time do you need just to recreate Minecraft in Minecraft? No, that's still not the craziest thing. The craziest thing was, by gosh, the Just Dance thing. 138 hours. let's see, there's 24 hours in a day. You multiply that by 5. That's over 5 days. Now I'm realizing. 5 days. Let's see, that's 5 days and 18 hours. My gosh, she almost went 6 days of just playing one game. And it was Just Dance. My gosh, if she's not in physical therapy or anything like that to this day still, I wouldn't be surprised. If she isn't, and she is still trying to achieve something higher than that goal, I would be calling bull. Because that is insanity. My gosh, you would have to be freaking suicidal just to do this. What the heck is up with them? Oh my gosh. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button down below. Hit the subscribe button to support the channel, support the content provided. My gosh, I need it. My gosh. Oh my gosh, I don't. It was one thing with the goal of trying to accomplish a series and all that. At least you can take a break and go ahead and try again the next day. This is nonstop. This is, oh my gosh. I am losing it mentally here. Okay. Jeez. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.